There's no coming back from this.
Yes, there is. He's coming back. He's coming back.
You can say what you want about Conor, but one thing he is not, he's not a quitter.
It couldn't happen to a better guy. You know, that injury couldn't happen to a better guy.
You cannot repackage and sell this story, nor would they be interested.
The question now becomes, does Conor McGregor have it in him to come back?
Conor McGregor's comeback against Max Holloway ended in the worst possible way, with another injury and even more questions about his future. Since then, fighters, analysts, and celebrities have all weighed in on what happened and whether Conor will ever compete again. First is Michael Chandler.
We finally saw it. You're talking about the guy who's supposed to be disappointed that he's finally making the walk, that he finally showed up. I believe he wants to fight me. I believe he tried to fight me. I believe he wanted to fight me. I believe that's how the negotiations went. Other plans were made. But the honor and the integrity of wanting to stick to and be a man of his word since he pulled out of that fight back in 2024, International Fight Week against me, I think he wanted to actually be a man of his word and see through to putting his name on that dotted line that had my name on it. But I know everybody is disappointed, but keep on watching. This ain't the last you're going to see of Conor. And I'm excited to see how it all plays out. God bless. I'll see you at the top.
Michael Chandler spent years waiting for the Conor McGregor fight, so there probably aren't many people watching Conor's future more closely than him. Next, Shawn Ali gave his reaction.
I don't know, but I think you're talking about me saying he's done forever. There's no coming back from this.
Yes, there is. He's coming back. He's coming back. He's coming back for a KO. The Mac is back. Mark my words. He's coming back. I'm a believer.
This feels like being a Tony Ferguson fan in 2000.
Completely different, dude. Brother.
Okay.
Schmidt.
Okay, dude. You know what, dude? McGregor's going to be back.
He's coming back, baby. You heard it here first. The Mac will be back.
That wasn't a normal I can't continue reaction. It was kind of like a...
I think he was in shock. Like, oh my God, my fucking knees just blew out and he didn't know what to... he didn't know what was like... It was just a genuine reaction.
So Shawn O'Malley is very optimistic here and still believes Conor can come back and get a knockout. But I think most people would disagree with Shawn O'Malley at this point. Next up, Dustin Poirier also reacted. He had this to say.
I thought it couldn't happen to a better guy. You know, that injury couldn't happen to a better guy. I saw earlier this week, he said karma's a mirror, and it definitely is, man. This guy's a dirtbag, and I don't know if it was nervous energy. I don't know why you would start a fight like that. They're saying this was planned to start the fight like that. There's footage of him like training to open the fight with this jump kick, but I just don't understand why you would do that. That's like a Hail Mary. You're throwing a Hail Mary to start the fight, start a 25-minute fight. I don't understand what was going on with that. I just don't, I've had a lot of time with Conor over the past 12 years, and I just don't think he's a quitter like that. He doesn't. That's tough for me. I don't know if that's possible with him. If he wanted a built-in excuse, a storyline that's already wrote itself, and he can blame it on his leg, do something dumb. I don't know if he's that type of guy. I'll say a lot of bad stuff about him, but a quitter, I'm not sure. He's a real competitor and wants to win.
100%.
And I doubt he needed the money. It's not like he said, well, I have to go through this and get into this ring with this injury because I need the money. This is the only way. The guy's got money. It wasn't like he was showing up for a paycheck. I really don't understand what went on. I have no clue.
Dustin Poirier is obviously connected to this story because he was standing across from Conor when he broke his leg in 2021. He knows better than almost anyone how much punishment McGregor's body has absorbed and what it takes to recover from an injury like that. Here's what Chael Sonnen had to say.
Serious thing that requires surgery. Do you think we ever see Conor McGregor fight in the UFC again?
No, but if you were to take that away, and if we were to say, boy, we got lucky. In fact, a step further, the referee misdiagnosed this. He's completely fine. We don't see him fight again, no. For the example that I put out earlier, you cannot main event him. You cannot repackage and sell this story, nor would they be interested. Chuck Liddell was very close friends with Dana White. Brock Lesnar just wanted to do it again. Anderson Silva was saying, hey, put me in one more time. Dana does not give back on that. I realize the story gets told that he runs the evil empire and all he cares about is money. That just isn't true. If Dana takes a look at Conor and thinks you could get hurt or you don't belong here or you're taking somebody else's spot.
With Chael, the conversation is never just about the injury. It's also about what it means for Conor's drawing power, his legacy, and whether the UFC would still risk building another major event around him. Next up, Dan Hooker gave his thoughts.
I feel like we're just as excited to see Conor McGregor box one of these big name guys for $100 million as we were before that fight, to force him to squeeze out one more MMA fight where maybe his body's can't, like, obviously, like, boxing is a very difficult sport, but it's far less taxing all over on your body. I feel like boxers sustain a lot more head trauma than MMA fighters do. Just the bigger gloves and just the duration. If you're fighting 12 3-minute rounds with the cushioned gloves, I feel like they sustain a lot more head trauma. But I feel like all over the body, MMA is obviously a lot more taxing on your joints, and you get like niggly on your or your ligaments.
Dan Hooker has dealt with plenty of injuries himself, so he understands the difference between wanting to return and your body actually allowing you to return. At this stage, desire might not be Conor's biggest problem. Next up, Daniel Cormier also weighed in.
The question now becomes, does Conor McGregor have it in him to come back? That is a big ask, guys. It's big of us to ask Conor McGregor if his knee is blown out to go through another year of rehab, another year of the sacrifices, the pain that it takes to work yourself back to a professional mixed martial artist, especially when you have the money that Conor McGregor has. That's a big ask. And if you ask me truthfully, I am more likely to tell you that it's not going to happen than it will happen. He's very unique, and I think the whole week showed that. He's the biggest star that we have, and the whole week showed that. I just wonder if he even does try to come back once again. Do people even buy into it again and say they want to see Conor McGregor go at it one more time?
Daniel Cormier has been around combat sports long enough to recognize when a fighter is approaching a crossroads. Conor may still believe he can compete, but belief alone doesn't guarantee that his body can survive another training camp. Next, MGK reacted. And of course, him and Conor have history.
I'm aware I did a post yesterday, and I should probably apologize for absolutely nothing, homie. Fuck this dude. That's how beef works. We don't like each other. Everyone's saying, oh, you commented on his age. He's only 1 year older than you about his knees. Hey, guess what? We don't age the same. My knees are awesome. Oh, you wouldn't say it to his face. I already did. That's why a picture exists of this little leprechaun punching up and missing me and me not flinching. Where the fuck is the rest of the footage where we toss this little guy like a piece of dirty drawers across the red carpet? That's why all the footage starts with him far away. Buddy, you look like a drunk, ugly extra in a Sherlock Holmes movie. What in the 1934 am I looking at? Fix your face. Holy shit. Oh, that's me. Why are you kicking him while he's down? Dude, fuck this guy when he's down, up, sideways, asleep, while I'm peeing. Sorry. Fuck him. What in the fuck, Liddell, happened to the landing strip on your head? Worst 10 seconds I've ever seen. Thank you for the walkout being longer than the fight. You're wasting everyone's time. It's pissing me.
The biggest question now is simple. Will Conor McGregor ever fight again? And honestly, nobody can answer that until we know exactly what happened to his knee and how serious the damage is. If it's something relatively minor, Conor will almost certainly talk about returning. Walking away quietly has never been his style. But if this requires surgery and another long rehab, the situation becomes completely different. Conor is older now. He has already spent 5 years trying to recover, rebuild his body, and prepare for one more comeback. Starting that process again could mean another year, or possibly even longer, before he is ready to fight. And even if he physically recovers, there's still the mental side of it. After suffering one catastrophic leg injury, stepping back into the octagon already required an incredible amount of confidence. Having another injury happen almost immediately could make it extremely difficult to trust that leg again. Training is one thing. Fighting Max Holloway under the lights with millions of people watching is completely different. Now, the UFC will always be interested in Conor McGregor because he remains one of the biggest stars the sport has ever produced. If he says he wants another fight, they will probably find a way to make it happen. But at some point, the conversation has to move beyond whether Conor wants to fight again. The real question is whether his body is still capable of letting him be the fighter he believes he can be. Do you think Conor McGregor will return for another fight, or was this the final time we'll ever see him inside the UFC Octagon? Let me know down in the comment section down below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, and YouTube thinks you'll enjoy this video next.